All right. So is there a Chat GPT just for coding?
Hmm.
That's what we're diving into today.
Okay.
We got this article. Is there a Chat GPT for coding? And I know a lot of you are thinking about this.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking that these days.
Yeah. And how is it going to
Yeah.
change everything?
Yeah, and I think that the really fascinating thing is this isn't some far-off
Right.
future technology we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is stuff that is actively being used by programmers.
Okay. So maybe not a dedicated Chat GPT for coding.
Right.
But the article says that even just regular Chat GPT is actually really useful for programmers.
Yeah, it is.
Which, when you think about it, kind of makes sense.
Well, yeah, I mean...
It's all about manipulating language.
Exactly.
Whether it's English or Python.
It's all language. And so the article gives this example of a junior developer struggling with API requests.
Oh, yeah.
You know, or you're trying to get like...
Right. One piece of software to talk to another piece of software.
Exactly, and get some information. And rather than going and like, you know, getting lost in all this documentation or going on forums, they just ask ChatGPT.
You just be like, hey, can you help me with this?
Yeah, and ChatGPT spits out a working code snippet in Python.
Okay.
So it not only saves time, but it also breaks it down in a way that's understandable.
So you're not just copy and pasting from Stack Overflow.
Exactly.
You're actually seeing how it's done.
Right, and you're learning as you're doing it.
Okay, but it goes beyond just generating code from scratch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They're using ChatGPT today for, like you said, bug detection.
Yeah, bug detection, explaining...
Even explaining algorithms.
Yeah, like really dense algorithms and how they work.
And documentation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which can be tedious.
Yeah, nobody wants to write documentation.
No, but it's like...
It's essential.
Yeah.
But it's boring.
Okay, so it's like this versatile tool. But there was one example that really stuck out to me.
Okay.
Which was this e-commerce price update scenario.
Yeah.
Where, like, let's say you're running an online store.
Right.
You got thousands of products.
Right.
And you're like, oh, we need to increase all the prices by 10%.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to do that manually.
Yeah, you're going to be there all day.
Yeah, exactly. And so the article shows how ChatGPT can just write a Python script.
Exactly.
To just automate that whole process.
And it's not just like a generic solution. It's actually interacting with a SQL database.
Oh, wow.
Which
is how most e-commerce platforms would store their information.
Yeah.
Wait, so it actually provides the code that ChatGPT generated?
It does, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's worth taking a look at.
Okay.
Because it shows you how AI is thinking about this problem.
Yeah.
So first, it queries a database to get all the current prices.
Okay.
Then it loops through each product, calculates the new price with the 10% increase, updates the database, and then it even has like error handling built in.
Wow.
So if anything goes wrong, it's like,
oh, that's smart.
Oh, it'll stop.
So it's making sure the whole thing runs smoothly.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating to see how it breaks down a complex task into these
manageable steps.
Yeah.
That's one of the key takeaways here.
Okay.
It's not just about writing code. It's about changing the way we think about problem solving when it comes to software development.
Okay. ChatGPT is impressive. But then the article introduces this thing called GitHub Copilot.
Right.
And this is where things get like...
Yeah, this is where it gets real interesting.
Yeah, is this like the ChatGPT but for coding?
Yeah, kinda. So Copilot is powered by OpenAI's Codex model.
Okay.
And it takes a different approach.
Okay.
Instead of being this like conversational back and forth, it lives inside your code editor.
What?
And it suggests code as you're typing.
Right.
Like an AI pair programmer whispering in your ear.
Well, okay, so it's not generating the whole script.
Right.
It's helping you like line by line.
Exactly. It can predict what you're trying to do.
Oh, wow.
And suggest the next piece of code.
Okay.
The article talks about how Intuit, the company that makes TurboTax and QuickBooks, they're using Copilot to automate unit tests.
Oh, wow.
Which are basically little pieces of code that make sure other parts of your software are working correctly.
And that's something that would take a lot of time if you had to do it.
Oh, yeah. Huge annual productivity boost.
Okay. But is there not a risk of like relying too much on these things?
Yeah, that's a good question. And that's something we'll dig into more in this deep dive.
Okay.
But first, I want to look at some more examples.
Okay, let's do it.
Of how AI is being used in coding today.
Awesome.
Welcome back. You know, before we get too deep into all these crazy advancements, I think it's worth like zooming out for a sec and thinking about like the bigger picture here. Okay, we've talked about how AI can help us write code faster,
more
efficiently. But like, what does that actually mean for the future? Of guy.
Yeah. What does it mean?
Software development.
Yeah. Are we all going to be out of a job?
That's the big question, right? That everybody is grappling with.
Yeah.
Is AI going to replace programmers?
Take over the world.
Yeah, a Skynet situation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a valid concern, especially with the
moving
pace of AI development.
Yeah.
But the article doesn't seem to be like super doom and gloom about it.
It's not like a Terminator situation.
Not yet.
Right.
But I think it's important to remember that, at least in its current form, AI is a tool.
Right.
It can augment and enhance our capabilities, but it's not about to become some sentient being that, like, takes over the world.
Okay.
So it's more about collaboration than competition.
Right, like working together. Think of it this way.
Okay.
AI can handle a lot of the repetitive, tedious tasks.
Like writing boilerplate code?
Yeah, like writing boilerplate code, generating unit tests. This frees up human developers to focus on the more
creative stuff?
Creative strategic aspects, like designing complex systems, solving those really unique problems, and making sure that the software actually meets user needs.
Okay, so it's like the AI is doing the grunt work so we can focus on the big picture.
Exactly.
But doesn't that then require us to, like,
absolutely
shift our skill set as developers?
Totally. So we need to start thinking about how we train the next generation of developers. It's no longer enough to just know how to write code.
Right.
You need to be able to think critically.
Okay.
Problem solve creatively and work effectively alongside AI.
So less code monkeys, more like code architects.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. We need to be the conductors.
I like that.
Of the AI orchestra.
Okay.
Harnessing this power to create amazing software.
Okay. I'm liking these analogies, but I'm also curious about, like, the specifics. How is this going to actually change how software is built?
So the article talks about things like tighter integration with code editors, personalized AI assistants, and even natural language code searches.
Okay, that's sounding futuristic.
It sounds futuristic, but it's closer than you think.
Really?
Imagine an AI that not only suggests code snippets, but it understands the context of your entire project.
Okay.
It could flag potential errors.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Before you even compile, offer insights into code complexity, and even suggest optimizations based on the platform.
So it's like having a super smart pair programmer who's like one step ahead.
Always one step ahead.
Catching your mistakes.
Yeah. And that leads to the idea of personalized AI coders.
Okay.
Imagine an AI that learns your coding style.
Wow.
Your preferred libraries, even your common mistakes.
Oh, that's scary.
And it could tailor its suggestions.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Specifically to you, making you a more efficient and effective coder.
It's like an AI apprentice.
Yeah.
Just constantly learning.
Constantly learning and evolving.
Yeah, what about that thing they mentioned about advanced testing and validation?
Yeah.
That sounds like a game changer.
Testing is often an afterthought in software development.
You do it at the end.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we wrote all this code. Now let's test it.
Yeah.
But imagine if the AI could generate test cases as you code.
Oh,
and it's like every line you write is being validated.
So you're preventing bugs before they even...
Exactly. It could even check for security vulnerabilities.
Oh, wow.
Like compliance with coding standards all in real time.
So instead of fixing bugs, it's like preventing them from even happening.
Exactly. And then there's this idea of natural language querying for code bases.
So like instead of digging through thousands of lines of code,
yeah,
you can just like talk to it.
You could just ask.
It's like, where's that function?
Yeah. Where is the function that handles user authentication?
Right.
Or show me all the code related to payment processing.
It's like a Google search.
Yeah, exactly.
For code.
It would make it so much easier.
Especially if you're new to a team.
Especially if you're new to a team or working on...
Or you're working on a legacy code base.
Legacy code base.
Yeah, that's been around for like 20 years.
Yeah, these are like massive code bases that nobody understands.
Yeah.
So all of these advancements paint this picture of the future.
Okay.
Where coding is less about writing syntax and more about expressing intent.
Okay.
You tell the AI what you want to achieve.
Right.
And it helps you get there.
Oh. So it's almost like we're moving towards a world where anybody can code, even without...
Yeah. I mean, that's a fascinating thought.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really interesting thought.
It is.
But let's like reel it back in for a sec.
Right. Let's not get too carried away.
Yeah.
I think it's important to remember that these AI tools are still just that they're tools.
Yeah.
They can amplify our abilities, but they don't replace the need for human ingenuity.
Yeah.
Problem-solving, critical thinking.
Okay, so even in this future, where AI is doing a lot of this like heavy lifting, there's still a really important role for human developers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, you could argue that the role of the developer becomes even more important.
Okay.
Because as AI takes over those more routine tasks, human developers can focus on those higher level aspects of software creation.
Like what?
Like understanding user needs, designing elegant solutions, and making sure that ethical considerations are baked in from the start.
So it's like less code monkey, more like code strategist.
I like that.
Yeah, strategist. It really captures the essence of this shift.
Yeah, we're not just writing lines of code. We're thinking about the impact.
Yeah, the bigger picture.
Okay, so for like our listener who sent in this article, clearly interested in this whole AI coding revolution, what's like the key takeaway?
Don't panic.
Okay.
AI is not going to replace you overnight.
Okay.
Instead, see it as an opportunity.
Okay.
Embrace these tools. Experiment with them.
Yeah.
Figure out how they can enhance your workflow.
Make you a better developer.
Exactly. The more comfortable you are.
Yeah.
With AI, the better equipped you'll be.
To navigate this new world.
To navigate this changing landscape.
Yeah, it's about adapting and evolving.
Yeah.
Not resisting the tide.
Exactly. And remember, this is just the beginning.
Right.
AI is evolving at an incredible pace. Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows what crazy advancements are right around the corner.
Right.
So the key is to...
Stay curious.
Stay curious. Keep learning.
Yeah.
And be open to new possibilities.
That's a great place to leave it.
Yeah.
So for all you code strategists out there, keep those brains buzzing, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.